Hello and welcome to this. This is a video where I react to a video by Jubilee, and the video title is Millionaires versus the minimum wage. So yeah, so let's go ahead and react to the video.
Hey, what's up, guys? We actually recorded a pre-roll that went wrong, so we're re-recording it here right now.
That always happens to me too, because the software I use has to be free because I have no money, so yeah.
We did a past version of this episode about a year ago. Go check out that episode. And Mel, you got something to say to our audience?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of questions asking how can we bring middle ground to our college campus? Well, fill out the link in the description box below.
Description box below. We're gonna come to your college campus.
Bit creepy, but you know.
Okay, yeah. Enjoy the episode. See you afterwards.
I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. It's like, that's what I wanted. You're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup.
What? Wait. Sorry, what? Sorry. Wait, what was that?
Campus. Okay, enjoy the episode.
Okay,
see you afterwards.
sorry.
I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. It's like, that's what I wanted. You're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup.
Sorry, that's just maybe we would start something. Anyway. Oh, this fella's a fucking moron, by the way.
Hi, my name is Tim. I'm a community organizer here in LA. I work on environmental justice, social justice, housing justice, and incarceral state issues.
My name is Christiana Hurt. I'm the owner of the 7-figure brand Wealthy College Kid, and I'm 24 years old.
My name is Graham. I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, and YouTuber.
Oh, fuck off, buddy. I think I've seen him before, actually. He's a dick. I fucking hate YouTubers so much. And you should too. You should hate the fact that I'm making this video. Practically every single YouTuber, not every single YouTuber, there are a couple that are good, practically everyone, including this smiling fucker, is so full of themselves. Like, my God almighty. Anyway.
My name is Beatrice. I am 21 and I am a Target worker.
My name is Brett Knutson. I am an entrepreneur and an investor.
My name is Tiara Lucky, and
an entrepreneur. You gotta give a little more information than that. It's like, I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just an entrepreneur.
and I am
An investor. Like, that's not a fucking job.
minimum wage worker. I just hustle, do Instacart, and I'm also an actress.
The first prompt is, I worked for everything I earned.
If you believe that you worked for everything you earned, you're wrong. Like, every single person. No, every single person.
So I grew up with two parents that were basically paycheck to paycheck, and
Okay.
none of them had any extra money. It was by seeing my parents struggle like that I really realized the value of money. So I basically poured everything I had into my work. There were years, I would say 4 years, that I didn't have any friends. From 18 to 22,
Yeah, and fuck you.
it was just me. And
Yeah, I'm really not seeing. Is this supposed to be? Am I supposed to feel compassionate for you? You're a piece of shit. Like, fuck you.
I was working from,
And I can say that because, you know.
probably 8 a.m. until midnight, working.
Yeah. And like.
As a real estate agent.
I completely agree. I think that what a lot of people discount is all the sacrifices that are made. I didn't
Aw, poor you.
go to parties. I don't
Oh really? You didn't go to parties? Yeah, I haven't really been to too many parties myself. I'm not a millionaire though.
really honestly have like a ton of friends. And it's not like a sacrifice.
What's that? That's what loads of people go through. And they're not millionaires, so shut the fuck up, yeah.
Where I was like, I'm gonna have no friends, but you can only balance so many plates or you drop everything. And the plate that I chose to give up was a social life.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing what does this have to do with you being a millionaire, though. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, we just have friends, we just go to parties. Like, the large amount of people who can't go to parties because they work all day long in a minimum wage. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of labor and communal effort that goes into getting all of us here that we don't get paid for, that other people don't get paid for. The examples that you two gave are perfect, actually. You both earn your money by extracting value from capital transactions. You know, you are not building the house you're selling. You're not out there working like in a slave mine, pulling selenium out of the earth like some people on this planet are. And we have to re-understand what it means to earn money and how we all interact to do that.
How would you address based off extracting value if you start a company from the ground and then you build it into a multi-million dollar?
You're not building it, though. You are, unless you do have instances in which you will build companies where they are the only worker. You know, like sole trader companies might do this. Like, you might be a taxi driver who just like builds a taxi or business, but even then, you still technically have to buy your taxi. You might be maybe a carpenter, an instance in which you literally, with your hands, made tools or just made the goods / services you're supplying, and you are the only worker, and then you built a business off of that. The only instance in which you can say you built the business is when you literally did not, like, obviously you obviously had to buy food and stuff, but even then, so the only thing you were buying was actually nothing to do with your business. It was just so you could survive, so the business could continue. And the point is, basically, you build your tools, you built your goods and services, and that's the instance there, and you don't have employees. Then you can say you're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, not entrepreneur. They get fucked over all the time. They're not, the best. But anyway, basically, when you see this is the whole issue with people who, when they come to business, they fail to understand that you're not really building the business there because you have employees. The employees are building the business for you. You may be partially doing it, but so are they.
Dollar company.
But no one does that because there's investors and stuff that come in too.
Not always.
Most of the time. I mean, you have to get capital from somewhere.
I have raised money before.
Yeah.
But I've also started companies that I didn't raise money for.
Yes, but you put money into them, didn't you?
How would you finance them?
By working a part-time retail job for minimum wage and then saving up and then...
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but you're not saving up unless you got capital on the side. Like, obviously, if you will find some rich people who, and I've seen this already before, like, you have people who have, like, very rich parents, very rich relatives, or whatever the case may be, or, and they may not have access to the capital at the time, or maybe they do, but they're told by their parents, you have to get a job, and we're not going to help you get one in the finance sector. So obviously, they have a part-time or full-time retail job for the minimum wage. But the point is, that's not the money they put in, / that's not the money that they use to finance their life. So if you look at it, if you are using your part-time retail job to eat, to pay rent, to do all this, you're not keeping like the vast majority of that money. In fact, you're probably not keeping any of it. So to get to the point, then where is the capital coming from? Okay, so you use the capital there, but what did you use to the entire period of saving to live? Oh, you use that finance. Yeah, that would make sense. That happens all the time.
Putting it in.
I have felt judged for my income level.
I mean, this is just kind of sad if it's the rich person, like, yeah, I feel really judged when I'm a millionaire, and it's just like, I make so much money, and it's like, I'm actually like stealing from everyone else, and it's just like, you really yeah, well, you probably should.
I think it's part of general society. We are always judging each other. Having used SNAP points before, like standing in a grocery store, using the card that I've gotten for the government to pay for food, and feeling the people behind me thinking that's something that you haven't earned or gotten.
Has somebody ever asked you to use your SNAP on them?
I mean, I have. generally there's not that much to go around.
It's the same mentality when it's a dollar versus Snap. Somebody could still.
The problem is, this works if you're just well off, if you've got about maybe 100 grand, that kind of level. It works there because that's kind of your fair share. Now, obviously, you still are better off than the majority of people, but the reason why you're better off than the majority is because the majority have been oppressed. You technically aren't taking more than your fair share. It's just that the majority have had their fair taken from them. So, in effect, they are poorer than they should be. Basically, if you're a millionaire, though, that doesn't apply. When you're worth about 100 grand and someone asks you, could you spare some money? Yeah, that works then. But when you're a millionaire, that doesn't really work. Because when you're a millionaire, you have more than your fair share. So maybe stop taking more than your fair share.
Ask me to share. Well, you get it. Why can't you help me out?
I didn't step forward because me personally, I surround myself with people that just like what's in my bank account just doesn't matter to the people that are around me. I do think a lot of judgment towards how much you make reflects on like your dating experience. That I do feel.
See, I've never had that because I'm so frugal. If there are girls that are out there who want me for my money, like they should know I'm probably like the cheapest person out there. I literally will wait like 9.
Okay, well, first of all, some people would use the more efficient method of just murdering you, which, I'd actually applaud them by doing that, but, anyway, I just feel this fellow is a piece of shit. I know what I've seen before, and it's just, oh, God, he's fucking annoying.
p.m. for happy hour to start, just so I get the happy hour menu. And so, like, so I would be like the last person any sort of like gold digger would want.
Yeah.
Once again, also, if you get in a relationship with someone, it's a lot easier to, get their bank account. So just saying, if someone was there, I know this sounds bad, but I'm saying if someone was there, yeah, it would not be as hard as you imply.
I find myself in situations with these boys that have no job, no nothing, and I end up taking on these charity cases of relationships. Oh, why don't you put him on or build him up? And it's like, you can't build.
Yeah, it's not Build-A-Bear.
I mean, you can. I mean, I've met guys I've dated that, go on to have successful businesses from my input. And, you want to date somebody equal or greater, but then you don't want to be materialistic about, like, well, I only date people with money because I make.
Yeah, also, can I just point out, having access to money is a very efficient way to raise capital. Basically, if you're like, well, the person I'm in a relationship with is actually a millionaire, that's going to be a lot more likely that you'll actually get money than in a bank or like even, less reputable financial institutions. You'll be a lot more likely to raise capital that way. That's just a fact. Like, you learn that in business. It's just a simple thing, which is having access to money tends to get you money. I mean, it's a good thing to know if you're looking to apply for a loan, that if your business is doing very well, you're more likely to access finance. Obviously, if it's not doing well, it still may get access to finance. Businesses do all the time. But, when you have this sort of thing, it works for humans too. When you have access to someone of finance, I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's annoying.
Make money.
Anyone can become rich if you work hard enough.
That is a very stupid statement because it makes very, very little sense. Mostly, and this is the point, because it's phrased in a way which gives Jubilee kind of an out, which is anyone can become, but everyone can't. Everyone can't become rich. If every single person, like, let's say, there was every single thing that stopped you becoming rich was just removed from every single person, right? And in this scenario, it's just your inability to work hard. So every single person is able to work hard. Boom. Of course, work hard is a very, debatable thing, because obviously if you have, a disability, then you're going to find it very difficult in many cases. That's you working hard. That's you working fucking 1,000 times harder than these fuckers, you know? Well, to be fair, they're working like 1,000 times harder. So for you, that would be like tens of thousands times harder. But are you, getting what they get in return? No, and that's just the point. It's like working hard to begin with is a bit arbitrary. It's like, well, that's, depends on the person. But my point is, the point I'm making here is that when you say, well, anyone, but not everyone cannot become rich. That's just a fact. That's not how, like, maths works. There is a limited number. There's a cap on the amount of money we have in this world. Now you could print more, but that would, reduce the value of the money we do have.
So I just think that anyone could become rich if they actually believed in themselves and took the risk to actually believe in themselves, that there is some success at the end of the line of that.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to mindset first and really having the belief.
Graham here. Piece of shit. Oh, in case you're wondering, yeah, his name is Graham. What a dick.
Belief that you can do that. I know for me, one of my biggest concerns was I didn't have any skills whatsoever and I didn't get into college. I have like a 2.0 GPA in high school. Like, it was terrible. I had such bad grades, but I really turned that into a positive, and I really believe this actually happened for a reason.
How did you get your retail job?
Because now I could pursue something else, which was real estate, because that didn't require a college degree.
How did you get your retail job?
And looking back now, that was the best thing that had ever happened.
Also, even the richest people in society fucking hate retail agents.
That's like a really sticky situation with anyone can become like rich, and because I don't think that's completely true.
Yeah.
A lot of people can if they have like connections and stuff, But I feel like sometimes people they work 2 jobs, or sometimes they have other things going on. They have to pay their needs first. They don't always have money for that, Because my dad, he's like a landscape worker. He has tried making his own company, and it doesn't always work out. He has tried hard. It doesn't work.
Where are you gonna get the finances? That's always an issue. I can tell you this much: if you gave me about 10 million quid, I could make a successful company out of that. The issue is, are you gonna give me that? Also, am I gonna have to repay that? Because if I am, that's different, isn't it, though? That's the point. It's like, well, if you don't actually have an active loan you have to pay back, then what you're effectively doing is giving an investment that just does not have to return, which means effectively, it's almost guaranteed to succeed because, well, you have money to push into it. If you've got money to push into a project that you don't have to necessarily take out for it because it's successful. Like, if I invested 1 million quid into a business, by the way, just for information, I do not have 1 million quid, and it returns back to me 900,000. That's technically a failure, but when it looks in the documents, if a bank, if I'm looking for an investment there or whatever, it looks like it's really well. I made 900,000 in basically profit, of course, then. Well, after that, I'm going to ensure that there'll be, several things that'll reduce that there.
That's why I think it's you have to have connects, That's why.
Do you mind if I interject?
Yeah.
In terms of building connections, I didn't have any connections either when it comes to working in real estate. And what I did to make the connections is I went to open houses every single Sunday for months. And I probably met at least 50 or 60 real estate agents. And it was through that I met one agent who was really gracious enough to say, if you want to come work underneath me, I'm happy to do that. And it was really that connection, which like you mentioned, connection, that I met that person through.
That was luck, buddy. That was fucking luck. This is a kind of stupid YouTuber vibe of yeah, I got to my position because of hard work, not because of luck. Except this story, which, I mean, that's literally luck.
Through just really kind of putting myself out there to meet people.
That's luck, though, buddy. That was luck.
There's a lot of institutional and systemic barriers that we aren't really talking about. If you walk into a Beverly Hills $5 million house not speaking English, they're probably not going to give you the like hookup. We don't tend to move within.
Yeah, they probably will possibly hire you as something that is, you know, a little less glamorous.
Circles where those connections cross economic and socioeconomic lines. But even beyond that, I want to say, like, you took a big risk, and your risk paid off. But what if your risk hadn't paid off? And that's for a lot of people who do try and start their own businesses, try and start their own YouTube channel. That risk doesn't pay off, and there's no real safety net there. So we're not really getting an adequate side of people who have like taken that entrepreneurial risk and not been able to take it again.
I'm almost worried it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, though. If you go in it fearing, oh, what am I going to fail, and that becomes your main focus, I think more people are less likely to.
No, that's stupid. If you ignore the possibility of failure, you will get burned. Unless, of course, you've got things backing you, like, you know, just money. You know, if you go into an area where the likelihood of you failing is relatively high, and you will fail, and you don't go in there thinking, well, you know, like you're not going to be feeling very high. You know, you will fail if you don't think about it, because you know, like that's the point. You don't have anything backing you. You don't have a second chance. You don't have a thing where you can do this. So in any scenario, not looking at the possible risks is a dangerous attitude to take. You know.
Take risks actually needed to succeed because they're more focused on not failing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think.
No, but people are not going to. People are going to take risks, but they're not going to take stupid risks. Because if they know they're very likely to fail, well, you know, you take a precaution.
Your
Also,
beliefs
you don't need to take risks to be successful.
Create the level of action you take, and the level of action you take determines your results, and it is cyclical.
I am not obligated to give to the less fortunate.
Well, I mean, when you are that fortunate, it's a bit pointless. But, I mean, no, I think you are, actually. I mean, I would argue we should just take it off of you, but, you know. Give, you know, in quotation marks, well, taken off of you and given to them. Yes, it's still given to them, I guess.
So the reason I stood up on this one is one of the missions in my organizing is getting away from this kind of notion that we have that charity or philanthropy is the way in which we solve social.
Yes, but as I explained there, though, when you say give, that is, of course, a way of saying, yeah, you're giving to them. You're not giving it to them willingly, but you're still giving it to them.
Problems. At the same time, like, I still give people money when I have extra change in my pocket, so I don't want to seem like I'm totally opposed to it.
I agree with that. I've given people money and not gotten it back. I've given people money and they've wasted it on drugs. Why did I even give you the money to begin with if you weren't going to use it to better yourself? Is it my job?
Well, someone has an addiction, I don't exactly think. First of all, I think that might be a little bit of a on you slightly, but no, I'm not saying it isn't completely though. But also, you know, like
To make sure that you're not going hungry? No, we have plenty of, you know, organizations that will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you have a roof over your head. Yeah. It doesn't have to fall on my.
What's going on there?
Shoulders, per se.
Wait, what?
Make sure that you have a roof over your head. Yeah. It doesn't have to fall on my shoulders.
I think someone is touching the microphone there.
That will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you have a roof over your head. Yeah. It doesn't have to fall on my shoulders.
Yeah, but like, but no, we do have an issue though. Like there's, you know, if you ask people, like I've had this conversation with people before. It's like, oh, no one starves to death in this country. Like, they kind of do though. I mean, sometimes they even starve to it directly. Sometimes they, you know, will consume something that's best not consumed. Like, you know, in my country, like there was a famine, right? And people would try and eat things like grass. Grass is not really edible as a thing to get sustenance out of. So that would not be good for them, you know? So sometimes you don't necessarily die of starvation, you die of something else because of your starvation. And inherently the argument of, oh, we've got to, no, they're not helping everyone though, are they?
I feel like when you say, are you obligated to give to the unfortunate, it's always the mindset of like money. Well, guess what? I have no money currently to give. But I have like my morality, I have my goodness about me. You know, I'm just trying to build a community, especially when you have a group of people that is creative and supportive, you build faster than just by yourself.
I don't always donate with money. Sometimes I'll go and I'll fill bags of food for kids that are starving, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And that's fucking useless. That's actually useless. I have had problems before with charities where they will give food to people. And it always is this kind of thing of like teach a man fish kind of attitude, which is like, but what are you doing with that? Because it just seems like what you're doing there is you're just spending money on giving food to someone. But what happens the next day? Will you continue to give them food? How long will my investment work? Because it appears to be that I'm not really investing in anything. I'm just giving you money so you can buy food for other people. But, you know, think of the future, you know?
it doesn't always have to be money. Like, I don't think it's our
I'm just saying, when
responsibility
this fucker fills bags, how exactly does that help? That helps in the short term, yes, but how does that help that person the next day, or the next day, or the next day, or the next day, or the next day?
give money based off of what we think the person's going to do with it. Like, that's on them if they choose to use it wrongly. It's our responsibility just to be generous.
I am not afraid
By the way, I did not cut this out. He didn't speak in the video that they clipped, so, I mean...
to spoil myself.
Okay.
I personally do spoil myself. I work hard to be able to go into a store and get something for myself.
Do you work hard, though? Do you? This is sort of the point, though, like, inherent. I've made this point already in this video, which is, like, working hard. Like, this is not really a thing. Like, you could be a super strong, like, your mind, you could have, like, you could love your job, all of this. You're not working hard then, are you? You know? But you're sitting next to a person who hates their job and they're far weaker than you and they require all the strength you need, then they're going to be working hard, even if at the end of the day their boss is just like, you did fuck all, basically. The point is, they're still working fucking harder than you are, aren't they? You know? That's the point. Inherently, that person is still working harder than you are, even though obviously you're making more money for the people you're working for. For her, maybe not, but for the average worker, you're making more money for them, not necessarily more money yourself.
I bought a $4,000 hairless cat.
What? Why? Why?
I had genetically made. And when I was in high school,
Why? Well, I guess, you know, that's your own taste, I guess. I wouldn't do that, but
when I started making money, I went and got that cat. You know, when you're in middle school and everybody's hitting puberty and getting taller and boobs, and I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. Like, that's what I wanted. And, you know, there's the controversy of like, you're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup.
okay, yeah, that's even YouTube is going, we're gonna feature an ad there.
I have no problem with it.
So I rarely ever treat myself. I basically keep my spending at the same as when I was like, 19 or 21. No matter
Yeah, and?
how much money I make, I spend the exact same amount. For instance,
That just seems like you're a hoarder of money, which is actually a terrible financial decision anyway. Like, you're kind of just a stupid millionaire, which is like, I don't spend money on anything. I just watch it up, pile away in the bank, and it just devalues every single year because inflation just gets worse. So every single year, all the money I've just collected and just not spent at all just keeps piling up. It just keeps piling up, and I'm just there, and it just gets less valuable every single day. It's like, yeah, Is that a good thing to say though? It's like, I mean, that doesn't even make financial sense. I'm not saying you should go out and you should buy, like people's homes or other businesses or things like that, but or like invest or anything, because that's bad as a community thing. But like, it doesn't make financial sense to just leave it in the bank. It makes financial sense to leave it in the bank if you're someone who doesn't have millions. But this fella's supposed to be a millionaire. If you're a millionaire and you just leave your millions, because he said he doesn't doesn't spend money, so clearly he must leave it in the bank. So he leaves it in the bank. He's leaving millions in the bank in comparison to someone who'd be working like a mid-tier job. You can leave some money in the bank, but that's not gonna happen. That's like a few thousand, maybe like 10,000 on a high level, that sort of thing. 10, 20, 30,000, but nothing you can really like, properly invest in. But if you're a millionaire, yeah, all the excess capital, you can fucking use that, alright. This fella's an actual Egypt, like. Unless he's full on just lying, like, oh yeah, I don't spend it on myself. I spend it on assets, which is still spending it on yourself, buddy. You're still buying things.
This sounds crazy, but when I was like 17, I wanted a Lamborghini. And there was
Okay, you're a fucking Egypt. Let me explain this to you. I'm probably going to make a video on this in the future, but I'm going to break this down for cars. Only rich people who already have a functional car, I mean like, a Ford or a Toyota or a Kia, something like that, where it's like there's no real bells and whistles. Not maybe in a high end like a BMW, even though that kind of is bells and whistles type, that sort of thing. Simple stuff. You can go, into the electric market and you can get really big range, that sort of thing. All with money. That's the kind of thing you spend, if you have big money, you spend your money on. Not a sports car. And there's a reason behind this. First of all, speed. Unless you are a racer or someone who likes racing, I don't really think I would be too enthralled about someone like, yeah, my car can go to 240. That's illegal. So unless you're a racer, I feel very inclined to call the police on you because, yeah, that's highly concerning, actually. Very highly concerning. Basically, this works for all cars when it comes to like the sports ones, your Lamborghinis, your Ferraris, your Bugattis, your McLarens, all of them. It also, by the way, also works for things like Tesla cars, where it's like, with the new Tesla cars, you can play games in your car. Famously, the thing that you're not allowed to do when you're in your car is be on your phone. That's why we have Bluetooth in cars. Now we can remove that and make your car your phone. So don't you worry, you will be stopped by the police for holding your phone. You will kill a few children, though. And maybe a few adults as well. But yeah. And don't worry, with our new and improved detection software, we will fail to block away from hitting the people. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of issue. It's like, well, you're basically oftentimes paying for things you can't use, and if you can use them, when I say can't use, I mean like legally, or you shouldn't use, like, playing games in a car, like use a tablet if you're, it's just kind of sad to be in a car when it's not moving, playing a game on the car. It's a weird reason to buy a car. I'm just saying. Anyway, my point is, never buy a Tesla. The only thing you should ever buy a Tesla for is the the Tesla sort of charger network, and even then that's a bit dodgy at this point. Point I'm making is, fucking Egypt here. Don't buy a car. There's a reason why only mega rich people actually, are the ones who should be buying those cars. It's because, guess what? They have a Lamborghini, but they also have that other car. That Lamborghini is their sports car. It is their additional car. It is their other one. You're a fucking idiot if you go and get your only car as a Lamborghini, as a Bugatti, as a McLaren, as a Ferrari, as a Tesla. If you're buying all those cars as your only car, and when I say only car, I mean obviously only car for you. Obviously, if you've got like a partner or like a family or whatever, and you've all got cars, I mean your car. If that's your car, you know, don't, cause you're a fucking idiot.
Nothing I wanted more. I want to be that guy, 18 years old and pull up with a Lambo. Like that
Well, you're a fucking moron. You're a moron. You're an active, like, I am not that stupid. I'm not very smart, but I'm not this stupid.
was my dream. But when I actually
Sad dream.
got the money to go and buy the car, all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a second, that's stupid. I'm not going to get the car.
Oh, at least he realized he was almost fell into the trap of the marketing trap, but he didn't quite do it. I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you. You're still a fucking moron, but
I'm going to invest it in real estate instead. But then I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to get the Lamborghini. And then you save up even more, and then you realize, wait, the Lambo is still stupid. Let me go and, invest it. And even now, like, the chase and ambition of getting something is way more fun and enjoyable than actually getting that thing.
No, I think the main thing is getting a Lamborghini is a stupid business decision. Unless you already have a car and you've got so much money that, like, another car just for the fun of it is not really that much to you, you know?
I don't really spoil myself because I always buy my needs first. I usually wait.
I mean, I have to say, inherently, if the minimum wage is not always the best, always the easiest thing to spoil yourself. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get myself a nice treat that costs about £5. Yeah, costs a little bit more than the necessary food to eat. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, well, how nice. Lovely, lovely treat.
Wait till like my next check to see if I have extra money, and if I do,
Yeah.
then I spoil myself. But if I don't, then I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting also that almost all of us have associated spoiling ourselves with spending money, and at the same time said spending that money is very unfulfilling. It's weird because even myself, like, I really just like having an F-off day and I just hang out and don't do anything and have any responsibilities, but I don't think about it as spoiling myself, even though that's my favorite time to spend.
Which, I mean, I'm sure you could argue, well, you could be out there making money, though, out there making money on that day, so technically speaking, I guess, this is technically me spoiling myself. Maybe in the future it'll earn money. It never will. But I'm saying I'm not earning money from this, but I'm still spending hours on this,
I wish I had more money.
Okay, these people are not allowed to. They don't deserve more money. They actually deserve less money. But they are allowed to say they're still wrong. But you know what I mean.
For me, I think it's always a comfort thing knowing that I have a little bit more saved up or invested. And I think it could just be a psychological thing that no matter how much money I have, it's always psychologically never going to be enough because that becomes your new normal.
Well, he basically lied when he was just like, yeah, I never spend money, except I do. I invest into real estate, so I do spend money, actually. So, he didn't even say, I actually, like, he doesn't even fucking realize you do spend money, buddy. You do. So anyway, basically, just that's just the thing. But anyway, so, yeah.
So I think you're always chasing that.
See, I want more money so that I
Maybe you don't deserve that, do you?
can pay off like my debt. And
You do. You do. You shouldn't have debt. But obviously, I'm not saying it's your. No, I'm saying like you shouldn't have that as a world thing. We shouldn't have a thing of debt. Why should that exist?
travel and
Yeah.
like help some family members, and that's it.
That's why I want money. I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, give me money, But like, I just want it for my needs, or just for like
Yeah,
a car
fair.
because I need a car, or just stuff my
Yeah, necessities.
family needs, stuff my friends need.
I think for me, if I'm honest with myself, it's getting further away from how broke I was. because I'm scared of that ever happening again. There is no end because of that.
To be honest, for your personality, you kind of deserve it.
So, of course, everyone could always use more money. Like, I've met billionaires who could definitely say that they would want more money, but more, I want to see a society in which
I don't really think they deserve it, though. So the answer to the question, I wish, like that's like not really. That's more of like a give me it more than a like a I think this. You know, like it is a statement of truth. You do want it, rather than oh, do you believe this or do you think this is true? You're either wrong or you're not. You know what I mean? So you will see this with that. That's kind of a bad question, really, because it's not really anything. It's just sort of like a question about your wishes. Like it doesn't really.
the money that we have doesn't determine all of our possibilities.
Like they're greedy fuckers. Like we fucking know you cannot be a millionaire and not be greedy, because why do you have the money? Now you could argue, well, I mean, if you're like a low level millionaire, it's not like you can really do much to unstabilize the system. Like you can't just go, oh well, you know what? I'm not gonna keep this money. I'm gonna give it away. Yeah, but like, what exactly is gonna happen there? You know? Now, obviously, if you're a higher level millionaire, well, you could do a lot with that. You could do a lot with that. Even a low level millionaire can do a little bit, you know? Like, I have ideas, So if you want to hit me up, any millionaires, go ahead. I have ideas for you to reestablish, more of a, an equal society. Even though you have a low amount of wealth, in comparison to, like, billionaires.
It seems like when we talk about solving problems, it comes back to money. My utopian vision is like a society where money really doesn't matter because we don't really need it to figure out value, but it makes a good translation for the time being.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you all about credit card sharing.
What was that? I'm just gonna put the subtitles on and.
Those frugal tips.
Oh yeah, no.
Those frugal tips.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you all about credit card sharing.
What?
Thanks so much for watching this episode of Middle Ground, guys.
Didn't quite get that bit, but
We loved having different people this time around just to get different perspectives.
Yeah. Well, that was that. That was Jubilee's Millionaires versus Minimum Wage. A bit of a short video that we're reacting to there. Just very kind of like quick sort of, period of time there. So yeah, just kind of talking about that. Your man, where is he now? Just get him here.
Back to
money.
Everyone could
My friend know
chasing that.
Your man here is a bit of a moron. At least he realized he was being an idiot. Not quite to the first extent that he should have, but anyway, at least he realized he was an idiot. Still a fucking moron. Your man here, greedy, bit stupid there. This side, think, your man here maybe might want to be a little bit more aware of the situation of like, well, if you're sort of in this position in which there is an instability. Like the reason why you do not have money is because these fucks have it, Anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching and bye-bye.